Today we are pulling back the curtain on something massive, an ethics complaint against New York Attorney General Letitia James, which could blow up her witch hunt against Donald Trump. Have you ever noticed that the people who shout the loudest about justice are often the ones with something to hide? That's exactly what we're seeing here. Letitia James has spent years targeting Trump with press conferences, bold declarations, and legal theatrics. But now, the spotlight is squarely on her. Welcome to Nelly Miranda.
My response is it's baseless. Listen, Donald Trump is on a revenge tour, and he finally got up to the J's. And so it's my time. And so the allegations are baseless. I'm not going to litigate them in the media. We will respond at the appropriate time and the appropriate fashion.
This week, an official ethics complaint was filed against Letitia James, accusing her of abusing her office and weaponizing the justice system for political gain. This is no slap on the wrist. We're talking about consequences serious enough to lead to disbarment. The heart of the complaint? James reportedly made up her mind to go after Donald Trump before she had any actual evidence. She ran an entire campaign on one man, promising to take him down if elected.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass.
I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president.
We need to focus on Donald Trump. We need to follow his money.
What is fueling my soul right now is Trump.
This illegitimate president. I look forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him, and then going home.
It's important that everyone understand that the days of Donald Trump are coming to an end.
See, that's not how justice works. That's not due process. That's just kangaroo court politics, prosecuting someone just because you don't like them. But here's the real bombshell. The ethics complaint points directly to her public remarks, labeling Trump an illegitimate president and promising to take him down as a clear evidence of bias. And for a state attorney general, that's a major breach of ethics. Let's read a small portion of the ethics complaint filed by America First Legal Foundation. We're going to read the part of the analysis and the conclusion. So the analysis part, it says, the New York Bar has an independent duty to conduct its own investigation into the allegations raised in Mr. Pulte's letter to the Department of Justice. While beyond a reasonable doubt is the well-known standard for a criminal prosecution, the rules of professional conduct are not so strict and only require a fair preponderance of the evidence. It is well settled that the standard of proof in attorney disciplinary proceedings is a fair preponderance of the evidence. This committee has the authority to begin an investigation based on the complaint or to act on its own. Further, there is currently no other legal action or proceeding that this would be intertwined with in the state of New York. This committee should exercise its statutory authority and launch its own independent investigation into these allegations. The legal profession ought to continue to regulate itself. A failure to do so will tell the public that certain officials are above the law. That's the analysis, and I'm going to read part of the conclusion. Significantly, as the chief legal officer for the state of New York, Ms. James ought to aspire to the highest ethical standards. Instead, it appears she has repeatedly traded in her integrity for a monetary benefit through deceiving lenders and the public in pursuit of personal enrichment. Such actions harm the rule of law and bring disrepute to the profession. Ms. James' conduct, if it is as alleged, shows that she has failed to uphold the letter and spirit of the rules of professional conduct. The New York Bar Committee on Professional Standards for the Albany region should immediately launch an investigation into Ms. James' action, and if it determines that allegations are true, impose appropriate discipline. As Ms. James herself previously explained, no matter how big, rich, or powerful you think you are, no one is above the law. Signed, Nicholas R. Berry. This statement cuts straight to the core of what's at stake. As the top legal authority in New York, Letitia James should embody the very principles that she claims to defend: integrity, impartiality, and accountability. Instead, the allegations suggest a disturbing pattern of deception and self-enrichment at the expense of both the public trust and the justice system she swore to uphold. Her actions don't represent ethical lapses. They undermine the very rule of law that she's built her career upon. The call for the New York Bar Committee to investigate is not just reasonable, it's essential. Because if we let our top law enforcers bend or break the rules for personal or political gain, what message does that send to anyone else? Letitia James once said, "No one is above the law." Well, now it's time to prove that that includes her too. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, here comes Sam Antar, the same forensic investigator behind many of the mortgage fraud and insurance fraud allegations tied to Letitia James. He is now dropping more receipts. So he's tracked a decades-long pattern, contradictory unit counts, phantom loans, and now neglected apartments under James' ownership. Letitia James tweeted, "We stopped a landlord from unlawfully taking advantage of tenants," to which Antar replied and said, "Who protects tenants from landlords like you when you break our laws?" Ooh. Tenant complaints have surfaced about her own Brooklyn apartments, chipping paint, hazardous conditions, and these reports popped up just 48 hours after the FHFA referred James to the DOJ for alleged mortgage fraud. Inspectors reportedly couldn't even get in to verify the damages, eerily similar to how James allegedly dodged scrutiny on her own property dealings for years. And get this, I think residents may have been too scared to speak up before, but now that James is under criminal scrutiny, they're just coming forward.
You released more documents this week. What did you find?
Well, there's quite a few. First of all, there were some complaints made about the units in her building. And it seems like those complaints overlap the units that she claims to occupy. So is she really there? Or who's filing these complaints to the Department of Buildings over peeling paint? Or is there sublets, illegal sublets? I don't know. But these are the things that every time we dig, every time we think we reach the bottom of it, we find a new bottom.
It's like you're peeling an onion back. She claimed a Brooklyn apartment was a 4-unit property. We talked about that. Official records say it's a 5-unit. She enabled her to then save tens of thousands of dollars. Right. So at the end of the day, this is all about her saving money, making money.
Exactly. Every single financial disclosure that contained false information, she benefited from financially.
So let's tally this up. We have ethics complaint for abusing her office, mortgage fraud allegations spanning years, insurance fraud, neglected properties under her name, tenants filing complaints days after a DOJ referral, you name it. But meanwhile, she's prosecuting others for the same things that she's allegedly guilty of. The hypocrisy is way too loud. And yeah, she's lawyered up, and not just any lawyer. The same one who represented Hunter Biden. That tells you everything that you need to know. I don't know if you guys are exhausted with Letitia James, because it's like, oh, another thing, but it keeps on giving, and we're going to keep on following it till we see what comes to fruition with this, what happens in this case. Let me be clear. This isn't just about Letitia James. This is about a system that punishes its enemies while protecting its allies. It's a crisis of justice, and it's happening in plain sight. I want to hear from you. Is disbarment enough, or do we need to go further? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to help grow our community. I appreciate you all for watching my video, and I'll see you in my next one.